Importantes cambios en el mundo de los negocios, debido a la globalización, el desarrollo tecnológico y las redes sociales. Asimismo, el cambio del comportamiento de los mercados. Estos comportamientos y cambios que se han dado han generado que la gestión de las marcas sea un desafío para las empresas y las organizaciones. En esta oportunidad vamos a conocer dos casos importantes globales referidos a mercados como son el caso de la India y la China. Antes quiero agradecer a nuestro auspiciador del evento, el Grupo del Comercio, que nos viene apoyando en estas actividades. Asimismo, la conferencia se comunicará a través del Twitter, @MarketingUPacifico, y el hashtag Marketing Summit Perú. El día de hoy tenemos dos presentaciones. La primera a cargo del doctor Daniel Dean, que va a tratar sobre marketing e internacionalización de las empresas chinas. Y a continuación se dará la conferencia a cargo del padre Yo Arun, que tratará sobre el comportamiento del consumidor y biology de los cars en el mercado hindú. Ambas conferencias serán presentadas en idioma inglés, es por eso que hay un servicio de traducción y los que requieran pueden solicitar el aparato correspondiente. Quisiera mencionar también que luego de las dos conferencias, al igual que el día de ayer, vamos a desarrollar un panel de comentario de las presentaciones a cargo del doctor Ronald Rivas y también a cargo de la profesora Matilde Schwal, vicerrectora de nuestra Casa de Estudios. Para las preguntas vamos en la segunda parte a entregar algunos formatos para aquellos participantes que tengan algún comentario o pregunta a formular a los expositores y a los panelistas, nos los pueden hacer llegar. A continuación.
I want to talk briefly about Dr. Daniel Dean resume. He's our first expositor, so he's going to be talking about internationalization of marketing in the Chinese companies. Professor Daniel Dean is an associate professor of the marketing department of the Hong Kong University. He is doctorate in international business and comparative management from Anderson Graduate School of Management from the UCLA. He has been researching, or he's focused on researching corporate strategies and foreigner investment in China and human resources, international human resources. He has published as well articles in different magazines, including the Journal of International Marketing, Asia Pacific Journal of Management, International Studies of Management and Organizations, y el Human Resource Management and International Journal of Human Resource Management. We are going to welcome Dr. Daniel Dean for his presentation. Please, a round of applause.
Buenos dias, amigos, miigos. This is the first Spanish sentence I learned this morning. Thank you, David, for the nice words introducing me. I feel special honored, coming to Peru for the first time to attend the Marketing Summit. I think the Marketing Summit gives us an opportunity to share, the experience of multinational company from emerging economy. The Chinese multinational company, the Peruvian multinational company, and Brazilian multinational company and multinational company from emerging economy have the chance to share their insight about the global market, to share their experience in the process of internationalization. So let's say today I'm going to talk. The first, I will talk about the rapid rise of Chinese economy and China's outward foreign direct investment. Especially, I will introduce the Chinese government to say going out policy. To see that the Chinese multinational company got support from the Chinese institutional environment and from the government policy initiatives. And I will also talk about, to say, the marketing challenges faced by the Chinese multinational companies, how they overcome the hurdles and the difficulties in handling, say, in the process of internationalization. And then I will probably say show 2 cases of Chinese multinational company going abroad, some successful cases. So that to say, finally, I will talk about the measures, how to improve marketing and brand strategy of Chinese multinational companies. Okay. Now, first of all, say, we all know that China embarked on the economic reform 3 decades ago. It has transformed the formerly centrally planned economy to a market-oriented economy. China achieved tremendous success. The average annual growth rate has maintained, say, around 9% for the last 3 decades. So that it allowed Chinese economy to overtake the Japanese in 2011 with a nominal GDP of $7.2 trillion US. And then we also observed that China's foreign trade growth rapidly. It is, say, with a very trivial amount when China first opened it up in late 70s. Now it ranked #1 in export with a total worth of US dollar 1.9 trillion in 2011. And China also became the #1 trade partner of Peru. We observed that the economic relations between the 2 countries have developed really well in recent years. And Chinese outward investment has been skyrocketing in recent years. We have observed between 2005 and 2012, China's outbound direct investment grew at an average rate of 35% annually, with global investment ranking climbing to the 3rd place. And the Economic Intelligence Unit anticipate by, say, 2017, Chinese outward direct investment will succeed inbound direct investment in China. China tend to be the #1 in what we say, the OFDI, the outward foreign direct investment from, say, the emerging economy, only after the United States. Now, here's the figure which show that the OFDI flow from China, now it ranked, say, the 6th in the world, only after United States, Japan, UK, France, and Hong Kong. And this figure shows that although Chinese has short history of making outward foreign direct investment, the total stock of foreign direct investment overseas has been ranked, say, among the top 10. Then here, I would like to give you a brief overview of the stage of development of China's multinational company. The first stage is from 1979 to 1992. That's the early stage of China's economic reform. The Chinese government focused on, say, attract foreign investors into China. They want to make use of the investment from multinational companies from other countries, make use of the technology and management skill, so that the focus has been given to the open door policy. The China's outbound investment during this period was negligible. And then second stage, so 1992 to 2002, is a takeoff stage. This figure showed that the second stage is kind of stable, but at a very low level. China was thinking about, say, to regulate outbound foreign direct investment. And China needed to establish, say, trade promotion institutions, needed to develop its overseas distribution channel so that the Chinese government start to encourage the Chinese company going abroad. Then we go to the third stage of overseas investment. During this stage, the government formally promulgated the going out policy. You can see in this figure that the third stage is kind of rapid expand the overseas investment. In 2002, the former Chinese, I would say the former leader of Chinese Communist Party, Mr. Jiang Zemin, made an important speech at the party National Congress convened in Peking. He described the going out policy as a significant event. Going out, going global, is a Chinese national policy. It's a long-term strategic goal for Chinese multinational companies. Mr. Jiang Zemin encouraged Chinese multinational companies with competitive advantage to go abroad, to compete in the international market, and to build the Chinese multinationals with Chinese brand name. So let us say this is the policy initiative of Chinese Communist Party. So let us say the internationalization of Chinese firms is strongly affected by the government policy initiatives. The state encouraged the giant state-owned business to become internationally competitive corporations. The going out policy motivated the Chinese multinational company, especially state, say, conglomerates, to go international. Now, we can see that during the third stage, it's a kind of steady and rapid expand of China's overseas investment. In this table, I listed the number of Chinese companies incorporated in the global, say, 500. In the year of 2002, when China first, say, laid down the going out policy, the number of Chinese firms included in the global top 15, top 500 is less than 15. And then after, say, 10 years, after this, now it's 2013. In just a decade, after a decade, the number of Chinese multinational companies included in the top of global 500 increased, say, by nearly 5 times. Now it's reached the number of 73. Then say, you will ask, what is the motivation? What's the main force driving Chinese company going abroad? I would say that there are 3 types of drivers: market seeking, strategic asset seeking, efficiency seeking. And the first, of course, is market seeking. Going global allows the Chinese company, say, to penetrate new market, benefit from business behind the trade and tariff barriers of other economies. The Chinese domestic market has become, say, overcrowded since China access to World Trade Organization. The Chinese market totally opened up for foreign investment, including servicing sector and the banking sector and retail sector. So that the profit margin become narrow and has been squeezed and twinned. The Chinese company now seeking opportunities overseas. And secondly, the Chinese multinational company are motivated by, say, seeking strategic assets in the developing market, such as, say, cutting-edge technology, the distribution channels, marketing and management expertise. The Chinese economy also, say, need resources, need energy, need oil, minerals to keep the Chinese economy developed, say, steadily, so that to maintain a sustainable economic growth, China seek secured source for energy and resources. And we have been observed China's outbound investment are mostly, say, located in those resource sectors. And thirdly, what motivated the Chinese company going global is the efficiency seeking. We can see that, say, comparing with multinational company from the developed economy, Chinese multinational may not be able, say, to have competitive advantage in terms of the levels of technology, the knowledge, the expertise of marketing and management. But comparing with other multinational companies coming from the less developed economies, Chinese company may have better opportunity to exploit their competitive advantage. And for companies seeking, say, the profit, seeking operational efficiency, it is important to move its operation close to the end user, close to the consumer, close to the buyers. So going global also accelerates the process of Chinese multinational moving up to the value chains to increase the profit margin. And here the table will show that the Chinese outbound foreign direct investment flows in, say, 2011. The destination, the investment destination, we can see that Asia absorbed the largest portion. It's about to say 60%. So Asian developed country. And the second largest portion of Chinese outbound foreign direct investment is the Latin America country. It accounts for 16%. It's about to say nearly 12 billion US dollars. And in terms of the stock, the total stock of outbound foreign direct investment from China, we can also see that, say, Asia country was the largest investment destination countries, which accounted for, say, about 13%, with a total stock of 55.17 billion US dollars. And among the top Latin American countries, Peru ranked second. I'm happy to see that there is about 19% of China's outbound direct investment were located in Peru. Now, say why China achieved this kind of success in the outbound foreign direct investment. Of course, the government is the driving force, the policy initiatives. The government first, say, laid down quite a number of policies to promote outbound foreign direct investment. First, it reformed the outbound foreign direct investment management system to simplify the approval procedures. There are basically three government authorities involved in the approval process: the State Development and Reform Committee, and the Commerce, the Ministry of Commerce. And the third one is the China's Foreign Exchange Authority. So let's say when the company want to have the intention to go global, first it need to get, say, the approval from the Ministry of Commerce. Then the State Development and Reform Commission will review whether the investment plan are compatible with China's strategic goal. And the third step, it needed to get approval from the exchange authority, foreign exchange authority. So this procedure has been simplified. And if the investment scale less than 10 million, it can go to the local authority to get approval quickly. And the second policy is kind of, say, the government financial support. Chinese government set up a special fund to endorse the company's initiative going abroad. So let's say if you have intention to cooperate, the technology cooperation with the foreign company, you are qualified for applying, say, credits from the China's Import and Export Bank. You're eligible for the investment insurance. The Chinese government also say use the taxation policy to encourage the company going global. The government entered the bilateral or multilateral investment agreement with the foreign country so that the company can be assured that the due tax levy will not happen. And the Chinese government also provide information service to facilitate the company going up global, to provide, say, establish a number of database collecting information about the investment country, so to provide information services to the firms going global. And finally, say, the Chinese government started to think about, say, to provide more stronger support for the private companies in making overseas investment. Usually, that's the state conglomerate. That's the primary force of going global. But Chinese have a very booming private sector. The private-owned companies now become also a major force making overseas investment. In terms of industrial policy at the industrial level, the 12th five-year plan have published a priority list. It lists quite a number of industrial sector as the industry which will receive the most endorsement from the government for going global. They include the energy, say, conservation, biotechnology, agriculture, service, high-end manufacturing, and innovative technology. At the corporate level, since China had opened up its market and welcomed inbound direct investment, now, the Chinese company have the chance to enter strategic alliances with the foreign company to leverage its capabilities. And we can see that some major characteristics of Chinese, the internationalization of Chinese multinational company, we observe that the dominance of the dominant force is the state joint, say, business group. And we also observe that the overseas merger and acquisition become a significant form of China's outbound investment. The Lenovo acquired, the famous example is the Lenovo acquired IBM. This type of merge and acquisition allowed the Chinese multinational company to get access to the international branding, distribution channel management expertise, and quickly get it established in the global market. Then another major characteristic is that the Chinese company are more driven by market seeking and strategic asset seeking than by exploitation. And the investment destination of Chinese company mainly based on the strategic objectives of the company. Now, as I mentioned that, say, the government encourage inward foreign direct investment in the early stage of the reform. lay down a solid foundation which provided the Chinese company the leverage advantage, the resource and capability, then now partnering with foreign firms, it becomes, say, some kind of source of competitive advantage in the process of internationalization. However, during the internationalization process, the Chinese companies are also faced with many challenges and difficulties, obstacles. The first one, of course, is the insufficient international experience of the Chinese executives. They have a little exposure to the global market. They don't have sufficient, say, knowledge about the global market. So let's say they feel that they're incapable to handle the complexity of the host country business environment. And then there is come out to say with the cultural differences. China has this long history, it has a unique Chinese culture, and also many say the host country has its unique culture. The cultural differences have become so obvious and ominous. It's difficult to bridge the cultural differences. And then the marketing expertise. The Chinese company need to expand its distribution channels, need to enter, say, relationship with the retailers, distributors in the foreign market. The lack of market experience is another barrier. And not enough knowledge of the host country regarding, say, labor management, how to manage a workforce in the host country. It's also a very difficult one. And the last and the most important is the difficulty to overcome the perceptions of Chinese product. The current perceptions, if you ask people, say, what do you think made in China? The current perception, if you ask the end user consumer, if you ask the marketing professionals about the Chinese branding, they may not be good. I would say that the adjectives associated with Chinese product, something like it's cheap, it's good for value, but in terms of quality, it may not as good as the other international brand. Okay, in terms of the safety, durability, of course, it is less than, or maybe inferior than the international brand. So let's say for the Chinese brand, for the Chinese multinational going abroad, you need